Lucy May here. I am so happy to see all of you today, and I am so sorry I missed last week episodes. I just kind of needed to take a week off to take a little bit of a break from everything. I had some things going on, and I just needed to focus on those things last week. So, um, anyways, I do apologize, but I'm back now, so we can keep moving forward. And I hope you all had a great week. I hope everything has been going smoothly for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed my episodes from the past and maybe had a chance to go back and look at some of the other episodes since I didn't have any last week. But if not, well, guess what? This is a brand new episode. So as you can see, I have no looks like I have no makeup on, okay? And it looks rough. I know that. I actually don't have anything on. So while we're talking, I'm just going to put a little bit of some moisturizer on. This is just your basic, the lightweight moisturizer. It really doesn't have hardly anything in here. I don't have the box with me. It's like 4 or 5 ingredients, and that's it. It's called the lightweight from ColourPop. And today, I'm doing this tonight, but I thought we would talk about foundations because foundations are really important. Obviously, it's the basis for all of our makeup. And I am not an expert, but I do know that when you have a bad foundation on your face, it really distracts from all your other makeup. So the only way to have a good foundation is to have a good primer, a good moisturizer, or sunblock. And if you don't do any of those, you have to obviously have a good foundation that will just blend with your skin either way, right? But you need to have something beneath your foundation. It will absorb better and look better. I'm just going to do just a little bit more. So I am going to demonstrate a new foundation I got this week, and I love it. Oh my gosh. I love it. I got a good deal on it. I couldn't resist it. And I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But it really makes a huge difference from my other foundation that I absolutely love. So, let's talk a little bit about foundations. So, I'll be honest, I don't look at the ingredients of the foundations. I'm bad, I know. Most of the stuff I don't understand the ingredients. I should probably research them and look them up. There are other people who are very well versed on this particular subject, and I would encourage you to go look at what they have to say about them because obviously they are probably experts on the subject. But what I look at is the reviews by experts on the particular foundations, or editors' reviews, journalists' reviews, people's own reviews. Really, they are the most important. And that come on and say, oh, I think it blends well, it's blendable, it's does great. And I look at my own skin to see if I match with that review, So sometimes it doesn't work that way, So, as for instance, I got a foundation. I actually requested it in my BoxyCharm. It was one of the offers to choose from. And I was excited. And I'm not saying it's a bad foundation or anything. I'm going to still try to use it because I want to try it with different primers, and see if I can get it to work differently. Maybe I'm hoping that maybe I just used it with a different primer that I was not normally using. And so I'm going to keep trying it, but it was with Rare Beauty's liquid foundation. And I tell you what, I put that stuff on. And it's very liquidy, obviously, because it's a liquid foundation. Very lightweight, I will give that much. Very lightweight, light to medium coverage. But I tell you what, this thing enhanced every pore on my nose and every pore everywhere else. I couldn't believe it. I mean, especially my nose. I was like, oh my gosh. Like every pore on my nose, it enhanced it. You could see where it had just got, like it seeped in. And I was just shocked. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't go out like this. Then I reapplied it again. And it was the same thing. And so I was able to fix it by just really kind of messing with it and really blending it harsh to try to get it out of there. And then I was able to do it, and then it was okay. But you shouldn't have to do that with the foundation. I was very disappointed with that. So and I had used a primer that honestly I hadn't used really much of. So that's why I'm like not completely giving it a negative review, because I thought, well, maybe it's this primer is not a good primer, which, I mean, it's sad because it's a Dwar primer. I got a sample of it, and I thought, well, this is going to be really good to try, you know. So that's why I'm like, it can't be that bad because it's Dwar, you know. Anyways, this is one of the foundations I have. And I do plan on trying it again. I'm not giving up on it because I want to see if it works with my other primers. And then if it does, and I know that that's not a good primer, then that would be just horrible if that's the case. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight is do half my face. Okay, half my face with primer, and then with foundation, with my new foundation. And you will be surprised, hopefully, as I was with what I saw. I generally use a medium to full coverage because I have pores. I have a scar here, which is a whole nother story. It doesn't cover it, but it's kind of smooths it out a little bit, which is fine with me. I'm not trying to completely cover it. It will never be completely covered, but it covers a lot of the, like, little bit of spots and that kind of thing. And I was just shocked and amazed by this foundation, and now I know why it was so expensive. So I've got Too Faced primer, facial primer I'm using. And I'm just going to put it on half my face. Okay. And I also, to be quite honest, I didn't start using primer until about a year or two ago when I started coming back to loving makeup. I didn't use primer before, you know, my makeup years. But it wasn't really talked about much, I don't think, when I was in my younger years. I'm still young at heart, so don't pick on me. But I am probably going to do most of my nose, just to warn you, because I do like how it looks on my nose. But I will do it on part of my face, so you can see maybe the difference. Alright, okay, so I'm going to let that sit in my face, let that dry for a few seconds. Also, I think it's important to point out the different styles of methods that you use putting on your foundation makes a difference. Like the sponges that you use, remember to always dampen your sponge. It prevents absorption of your foundation, and it helps with application. I have one of these brushes that, I don't know what you want to call it. It's a split. Sonic Blend, but it's electric brush. And this is just wonderful. I love it. But I got used to this other brush. It's a Kabuchi brush, which I'm going to use tonight. And it is adorable, not just adorable, but it just blends so beautifully on the skin. And it just makes it so smooth, and I just love it. I love it, love, love it. So those are some ideas. Of course, you have other types of makeup brushes, which I don't have with me here. But needless to say, you have the sponge, the brush, and the Kabuchi brush, and of course your hands. You always have your hands. And I remember using my hands for several years growing up and stuff, and putting on with my hands. And there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes, you know, foundation, it really depends on application too as well. You know, looks better being applied certain ways. So you have to kind of play around with your foundation, what looks best. So, but yes, back in the day, I just used my fingers. I didn't really, you know, we really didn't understand a lot. And I'm not talking about back in the days. I'm talking about in the 80s, 90s, you know, 2000s. I mean, when things really kind of exploded, 2000s and stuff, about makeup and what was good, what you should be doing, and that kind of thing. So, all right, so let me tell you about some of the other foundations I have. Now, this is the one which is Charlotte Tilbury. I always use this most of the time. This is her Airbrush Flawless foundation, medium to full coverage. I love this. It's buildable, and it does go on, and it does make you look flawless. And it's lightweight, and I just absolutely love this foundation. My other one I have is Estee Lauder's Double Wear. This is full coverage, medium to full, but most of the time it's full. And a hint with this particular foundation is you have to work fast with it. You can't just put it on all over your face and then brush and do whatever. You have to put it on in one area and then brush it out right there and then, because it will set up, and it sets up fast, and it won't blend out after it sets up. So you have to literally do it right there and then. Just a quick tip, because I learned the hard way with it. I thought I was doing something wrong, and I was, and I didn't understand it until I had to watch a YouTube video. Okay, so there's this one. I also have the Maximum Double Wear foundation, and this is very full coverage. Very full coverage. It works on your face and on your body. If you have scars, tattoos, whatever. It is very thick, and it's very full wear. So you can use this if you're afraid it's too much. You can mix it with a little bit of moisturizer, and it will kind of thin out just a tiny bit, and it won't be so thick. But do know that anytime you add anything to the foundations, you do kind of mess with the chemical side of it, you know. But sometimes you have to do that. All right, the other one I have is Trestique, which I know some people hate this because it sits on the skin, and I kind of do have to agree with it, but when you're in a pinch, it works out. It does what it needs to do. And I'm at the end of this one, but I do have another one. I got it from where did I get it from? Beauty Box for like $5 at the time. Now they're $9, but and I have an extra one. So normally they go for $30. So I don't complain about it. And then I got a foundation stick from Ulta. Another one, and it's pretty good. It kind of sits on my skin too, so tend to use that in a pinch as well if you're heading out somewhere. Now, I also got 2 darker shades that I use for bronzing. So, you know, I have those 2 I can take with this one when I'm traveling. So, I have different concealers, and we won't talk about that today. But I will use one tonight. So that's about that with my foundations I have. I don't have a lot of foundations. And the ones I have had, or I have that I've showed you, I've gotten on sale. So like I've said before in my previous videos, I don't generally buy things at full price. Now I will on occasion buy something if I know that thing's going to sell out and it's not going to come back in stock, or it's going to be a year before they restock it, or if I know that it's just something I really, really, really want, you know. But most of the time, I wait for sales to happen, and then I will get it on sale. Because some of the stuff is like, I'm not saying it's not worth the price, but sometimes you think it could be cheaper priced, you know. So anyways, the foundation I'm going to apply tonight is NARS Matte Foundation. Soft Matte Complete Foundation. Fond de Teint Corrector Velour Matte. And I just totally messed it up. And it's the color Yukon Light 2.5. This stuff is amazing. I hadn't really heard much about their foundation from people other than their concealer, their Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've heard tons of people, and it's always in the top 5 of the best concealers. Every article, I think the last 2 or 3 years, and probably years before that, it's always in the top 5 concealers. But I just never really read much about this, and I think this is a fairly new one because of the matte color, I think. But oh my gosh, when I put this on the first time, I was shocked because it mattifies for one, but it just hides a lot of stuff. And so it's definitely full coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and it's buildable. So if I felt like I needed to add more, I could, and it won't cake up either. And you can keep, you know, spreading it, and you have time to blend it out if you need to do that. So I just wanted to show you the difference between the sides of without and with. Okay, I'm going to use my Kabuchi brush. And I hope you don't get too bored with this. All right, so the tip of it is just like a little squeezy, you know, squeezy tip. So I'm just going to do just a little bit on my finger here. And you don't need a whole lot, to be quite honest. Okay, I'm going to look in my mirror because I can't see without it. And I'm trying to just kind of spread it around. I'm going to take my Kabuchi brush here. And here we go. Here we go. And as I don't know if you can notice, but that little amount is spread nicely on my face. And around my nose here. I don't need to do my whole nose either, so that's good. And I am doing upwards motion. So that's the side so far. Okay. And I love the color of it. It does seem to be lighter on my skin than this, but that's okay. Now I'm going to do just a little bit on my other side of my forehead here. All right. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to kind of make sure that gets done as well. Okay, there you are. I don't know if you can see it or not. I have to put my glasses on because I can't see much. So I don't know if you can see it very clear, but yeah, so there is a difference in color, definitely, you know, just kind of making sure it blends out here. It needs to blend out just a little bit better. And as it dries, and you do have time to blend it out more if you want to, but it doesn't, I mean, it fills everything in just nicely. It's not shiny, it's all matte color. I can't show you up close about my pores really, but they are very nicely covered. And it just looks really good. And I'm just making sure there's no extra just sitting on, you know, that everything is nicely blended in. And it is. And of course we have our little, and what did I do with, let's see here. I'll put a little bit of concealer on here. Under eyes, because I don't need to put any on anywhere else because there's nothing to cover up really. And that's with the under eye concealer, or the concealer. I don't know what you think about that. I'm going to go ahead and use my soft sponge here to apply a little bit of powder here. Make sure to shake it. I need to figure out how to do this. I've had this under eye powder for a while. I still don't know how to, you know. Still not sure how to do this, but let's see here. Yes. That's nice. That's nice. If there's a little bit of darkness under my eyes, I think it's from, I thought I got all my eyeliner out from the other night. Okay. And I'm just putting on some powder. And of course it's already mattified, so. There we are. What do you think? I think it looks good. Difference definitely in color. It makes it lighter. But that was what, you know, they figured out with my coloring. But you can tell, you know, the difference, even though it is a little bit, yeah, I could have went a little bit darker, I guess, in color for my foundation, but that's okay. I don't care. I'll still wear it. But But you can see where it's definitely different in the mattifying and in the texture, and you can see where you don't see the yeah, about the texture, and the oil is gone, and you can just totally see a difference in there. So I just wanted to show you how I really am enjoying this foundation, and it's from NARS, and I happened to just get it on sale because it was it a part of a bundle? The concealer was a part of a bundle. Not sure, the foundation was not, but there was a sale going on. So my suggestion is to watch the website. I got it on the website, and see if they have sales on. Of course, you can always check Hula. I'm not sure if it's at Hula or Sephora, I'll be honest. But you always can keep an eye on those stores to see what sales they have too as well, and get it from there. But yes, keep an eye on it, and you can get some deals so it's not so expensive, because I believe it's normally like $42, I think. I got it for like $32, I think. And then I had gotten a concealer, but I got a bundle deal. Virtually got a travel concealer for free, because I got the regular size concealer and a travel concealer. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you all have a great few days, and I hope your Monday goes pretty good. Well, maybe even excellent, right? And I promise I will see you on Thursday, and we will have a good discussion. Okay, talk with you then. Bye.